This was taken in like May, when I've been able to return with the team. But this first trip, I went up there by myself, and I'd heard about the village and got over there, and we had about Kurdistan is very cold, very high, those mountains are, and very deep snow in the wintertime. So I had to ride a mule over there about 5 or 6 miles. And I had my escorts, one of these guys here, they were the survivors of that massacre. They had joined the Peshmerga, the Kurdish resistance. Well, several of them, 2 or 3 of them had. A couple of them were too shot up from the execution to do that. But they took me over there to show me. And we get up there, and of course the village is nobody living there at that time. That was February. And we had to stay in a cave. You're interested in the story of Abdullah Mohammed Abdullah? And there was an older guy, Kurd. He had also survived. And he was nearly my age, I guess, or about. And we were up there. Going up there, it was really cold, and I had a bottle of whiskey in my saddlebag. And I had a guy that was translating me, and a guy named Raybar was my translator. He'd been to university down in Baghdad. He was Kurdish, but he was kind of a secular Muslim. And they drank whiskey when they, and I kept telling him, he was colder than I was, once we get up to the cave, we can have a little whiskey and warm up. And, he was really looking forward to that all day long. We get up there, and of course, before I did that, though, I asked him to translate because, I knew that these guys were fundamentalists. I don't like to use the term fundamentalist as applied to Muslims because that's got the connotation of fanaticism. They're traditionalists, these guys were. These guys aren't going to go out and bomb somebody but they, strong drink is forbidden. And so I asked Raybar to translate for me, and I said, ask Abdullah Muhammad there tell him that I realize that, that they frown on strong drink, but, I'm not Muslim, and I'm from Oklahoma, and we don't, and I'm really cold, and my knees hurt, and I would like to have a little glass of whiskey or a little shot of whiskey. And so Raybar translated, and so he stared in the fire for about 2 or 3 minutes, and he finally came back, and he, went off into Kurdish, of course, and I finally asked Raybar, what's he saying? He's saying, well, he said, you are correct. We consider, strong drink the drink of Satan, and but, we are Kurds. We're the most hospitable people in the world. This is our cave, and you are our guest. And then something to the effect that, actually, because you're an infidel, you're going to go to hell anyway. You can have all the whiskey you want. And then he started pointing at Raybar, and he goes, yeah. And I said, what's he saying, Raybar? He says, but me, Raybar, he says, he's Muslim. He's bad Muslim, but he's Muslim. And if he has a drink, we'll kill him. And I said, well, tough shit, Raybar. I get all the whiskey. So we got along fine from there.